Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Vakabine and Manju Toure here. On a nightly change. Our host Amy is not in today, so I'm filling in for her until she can get back here. So bear with me as I go through this, for at least for the first time. But hey, look, we are here. We're gonna get to it. We got you know, friends and colleagues in the bags will be joining them momentarily. But we're just gonna go into the show right now and try to bring some some happenings, if you will, for lack of a better word. A lot of stuff that happened in the country. Plenty of things that happening in the country. We're gonna compile everything and try to decipher them and give you guys some insight into all what is going on in the country. But good things are happening. Good things. All right. So let me make that disclaimer. A lot of great things are happening in the country. How about that? So let's take that. Let's run with that. That's Liberia. That's our country. That's what we love. And we also love to come on here. Our viewers, those that have been with us, on other network, and some of you have actually making it a business to follow us here. We want to appreciate you all. But yeah, so a lot of things happen. I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to start, but I know very well something that a lot of us are obviously, at least the majority of the country, are currently mourning the death of Mr. Grisby, the the Minister of State of Presidential Affairs. So yeah, a great guy. Obviously, I personally can say great guy because I didn't know the man. If I be saying that, I'll be lying to you. But everything I've heard so far, all the polls indicate that he was a great asset. Um, and to even gave that some validity, some fidelity. You we all heard the statement from the U.S. State Department today. Nah, sorry for that. Not the State Department, but from the U.S. Embassy in Liberia. Um, obviously sending their condolences to the Liberian people, and of course to Mr. Grisby's family. Um, So it tells you the kind of character he was, or at least the kind of man he was, that he did not only impact Liberia relationship in Liberia, but also Liberia relationship, expansion of Liberian relationship, outside of Liberia. That's what I actually got from that. That is going on. We also talk about, at least that will be in the news now for the past couple of days. We're talking about you know the match that happened, the match for say no to drugs campaign that was launched by some, I believe, how do you want to call them, concerned citizens, if you want to call them that. The match, uh, the campaign against drugs. We all know drugs obviously is something that is prevalent in our society, in our country. Um, it has um, infiltrated in every facet, of our territory. Communities that you wouldn't have thought of it being possible for drugs to go in, find drugs in there. You find drugs in the rural area, which of course is just shocking. But yeah, small towns, villages, and stuff. You got these things available in these places. So that definitely, merit the campaign. It gives credibility to the campaign. it tells me that the organizers, obviously, they saw something. And this is what patriotism should be all about. Patriotism should be about, seeing something, seeing the need of it, and then acting upon it. Right. A lot of times people want to showcase that patriotism based on government jobs, getting stuff like that, right? That's the only way some people really feel important. That's the only way some people feel like they can contribute to society by being in public office. But to be quite honest, the basic and the most crucial and important aspect of public service is actually not in government, it's outside of government, right? Because they're where you are moved by your shared conviction. Mhm. You are moved by your shared conviction. You are not moved by monetary, value, right? Your contribution to society cannot be quantified. You cannot monetize your contribution. There where public service really, really, really is key. And these beautiful people, this beautiful soul, they saw the need that there has to be a global march, or national march, so to speak, where thousands of people, Liberians, can get in the street, moms, dad, uncle, nephews, grandparents, foreigners, friends and daughters of Liberia can actually get in the street and say no to drugs. Campaign that caught the attention of the president. So that was that. We also saw, obviously, the beginning of it all. We saw the bombshell, if you want to call it, Honorable Sir Joseph. Actually, I don't like to use the word honorable. Sir Joseph came out with that. Came out with that huge. I mean, a lot of people, the way people are approaching that whole Sir Joseph, explosion into WIAS and the CDC, obviously. A lot of people are not trying to give it the merit. A lot of people are not trying to give it the credit it deserves, right? And I understand I understand the whatchamacallit. I understand I understand the argument from both sides, right? I really do. I really do understand the argument from both sides. There are people on the other end, they are saying that, you know what? This guy did not come the right time. The message, such confession is belated. Others are saying, well, it don't make no sense now because President Bouaka is already in office. Some people are saying he only did it because he's trying to launch his newly funded political party. Other people are saying he's trying to pay it back. He's trying to pay debt to put him out. Typical Liberian would have saying that the man came to pay debt. So everybody's saying their own, right? But this is what I have to say. You can say all of these things, and you can be right. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep it 100%. I'm going to keep it 100%. You could be absolutely right in your position, or at least how you look at this whole situation. But this is how I see this. For me, it's never too late to do the right thing. Whether belated or not, for me, it's never too late to do the right thing. Whether it take you 10 years, 15 years, do the right thing. If you can apologize to somebody for something that the person did to you and it has been so long that you even embarrass yourself to bring it up to the person, muster the courage, go ahead and seek the person's forgiveness. Because if you're a believer like I am, we know very well that that is absolutely important that you do that. Very, very important that you do that. So, Sir Joseph coming out now, a lot of people saying, oh, the Minnesota come on, Minnesota come out. There if you do, there if you don't. Was it self-motivated? Like I said, you could say that. Was it something that he needed to do in order to launch his new funded political party? From a PR standpoint, I said no. He was not under any pressure to have done that. But he just did it because poor judgment. Poor judgment. Because there's no sympathy that he's thinking that Liberian people are willing to give to him. No. But is it belated? No, it's not. It's not. But was it politically motivated? Absolutely. But his separation does not make sense at this current junction, because if you think this guy was doing all of these things and he waited all of this time, JMB is 2 years into his administration, into his administration, and now you are talking now. Nearly 600 plus days. Now you're talking. CDC gone ballistic. Everybody gone head to scatter. But one thing I know in this life that we are living, like I said earlier, there is no time limit, or there should absolutely be no how do you call this? No man, I can't get the technical word I want to use on this. Come out anytime and speak the truth. Come out anytime and say, look, we did this, we did that. It don't matter. It would have been better if he had done it during the campaign period, while putting former President George Manneh at disadvantage. That would have been the perfect time. But the fact that he didn't do it at that time, he waited after George Weah was defeated. Now he's doing it now. I can see why people are kind of going crazy, right? And I respect them for thinking that. While it is true that George Weah might have made the Thomas Fowler of the world, the Sir Joseph of the world, the Akara Gray, and whosoever that you think George Weah made. But I have said this, and I'll say it again. I'm not in favor of being ungrateful. Ingratitude is not something that I subscribe to. But I'll be damned if I tell you I'm not going to tell you the truth, because even if you are doing something bad, because you you granted me favor some years ago. So, like, I should give you a slack because you did favor for me 20, 25 years ago. So even if you are doing the wrong thing, I should not muster the courage to tell you in your face that you're doing it right, that you're doing the wrong thing. I'm not like that. I'm not built like that. I'm not cut like that. And that's why I don't put myself in a position where I will compromise my morality for someone else. Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to my decision to speak, my decision to reject, my decision to not see wrong thing and not say something cannot be compromised. And I'm not going to put myself in a situation where my ability to exercise those fundamental rights of mine, they compromise in any way, shape, or form. So just because Joey have made these guys, some of them feel like even when it comes to compromising some of their values, some of their integrity fiber, they are willing to do that, then actually putting Joey on a blast. When you do that, that's something we call a betrayal of one's conscience, right? We can do that, all right? We can do that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to set up for that. So the guys, they should have to accept the blame. Because if Thomas Fowler refused to speak, Sir Joseph rather, Sir Joseph's refusal to have spoken at the time it was appropriate put all of us Liberians, we that felt that WIA was bad for the country, put all of us in jeopardy, placed all of us under a very, very convoluted situation because of his refusal to have spoken. Because a refusal to have spoken placed George Weah at a competitive advantage over Joseph Numa Boakai. Because if you make this kind of information available to voters, you're giving them a lot of information where they are able to make sound decisions. When he talk about an Israeli firm that came, investor from Israel came, they wanted to invest $100 million, but they, you know what I mean, Joe Weah and his cronies wanted $30 million cut on a $100 million investment. A lot of people, people would have been absolutely appreciative knowing that why heading to the polls. But he conceded that. He did not release that to the Liberian people. Then he also talked about another firm, another investor came with $500 million United States dollars. But people had to pack their baggages and luggages and leave. Just because of the same, how do you call it? Quid pro quo. So he refused to let the Liberian people know, while simultaneously positioning Joe Weah or enhancing Joe Weah's chances of winning. But the Liberian people were so fed up with the CDC experiment. They were so sick and tired about CDC coming back. They did not give it any thought because people knew that they were not going to vote for CDC. They have seen enough. They have seen enough and they have heard enough. They have seen enough up to that point. And they have heard enough. So they were not going to take any chances. And seditionists that are criticizing Thomas Fowler, Sir Joseph, they have every right to criticize Sir Joseph. If I was seditious, I'll be criticizing you too. Oh, hell yeah. It's a fair game. It's a fair game. That's what I would tell people. Politics should be void of emotion. You have to put your emotion to sleep when you're engaging politically. Because politics is like a roller coaster ride. Like this. It's like a roller coaster ride. Right? It's like a roller coaster ride. You on a roller coaster, keep tipping down, and then boom, all of a sudden it's up again. Then right? That's the reason why we will do the politics, but we'll also maintain our integrity and morality. We will do the politics though, but we will fight in maintaining our morality and integrity. And I know a lot of people say, oh, there's no morality in politics, there's no integrity in politics. Everybody just, no, I beg to differ. Absolutely, there is morality in politics, there is integrity in politics. You chose to do whatever politics you want to do. If you go there with the sole intent of representing the people that voted you in, and that is your mindset heading there, so help you God, and you're really sincere about putting your hand on that Quran or on that Bible and telling the whole world that you will serve with integrity, you will serve with impartiality, right? And you say all of these things, but only to go in office and start doing all of those things that you promised to not do. You know? I mean, look, politics is not clean. Nobody should pretend that it is. But even in the dirt, you can always find something clean. It could be dirty, but you can find little sampling of cleanness around there. So it's not clean at all. But you can put yourself in a better situation and not get caught up into all that mess. Serve your constituents. The people that voted you in, do good by them. That's all. They are mad, Thomas Fala. They are mad at Sir Joseph. They are mad at other people that have stood men away from CDC, evangelical tsunami or so. I told somebody this, and I'll tell, and let me say here tonight. I was talking about the explosion of CDC before all these things started happening. I told the president about a month ago, that CDC are exploding. Someone in Philadelphia, a good friend of mine, I'm not going to call his name, but we're having a conversation. I said, look, they think it's a done deal. It's done. And CDC gradual explosion started when Mobile Malu left the party. And at that time, I told a friend of mine, I said, look, man, that is a huge blow to the Coalition for Democratic Change. You can say everything about Mobile Malu, but you cannot take away his ability to galvanize people, even though that ability, from everything we know now, continue to decline by the daylight. And that is because of his insincerity and his lack of self-awareness. That's Mobile Malu, no problem. And that's, in general, that's Liberian politicians. They lack self-awareness. They lack self-assessment. Right? Bro, The reason why I said that whole Mobile Molu campaign team were not genuine to start with. That whole enough is enough campaign was not genuine to start with. Because given the level of destruction, given the level of mismanagement, given the level of mediocrity that happened under his government, under his CDC-led government, where he was party chairman, given the whatchamacallit, the enormity of the destruction, given the enormity on every spectrum in government, that Mobile Molu will be the one protesting, not even a government that not even been in power for 2 years. It was disingenuous, and I said this and I'll say it again. Did not make sense to me whatsoever. That for a guy who was Gucci, he was a brand ambassador for Gucci. Because I've never seen anybody, and I've never seen anybody dress in designer clothing like that dude, bro. Even Floyd Mayweather could not come close. I mean, who wears Gucci body jacket, Gucci pants, Gucci watch, Gucci belt, Gucci hat, Gucci sunglasses, Gucci shoes? I did not see the socks, but it might have well been a Gucci socks. Gucci a luggage bag, I mean a suitcase overnight. I mean, are you serious? Dude dressed in Gucci like a freaking Halloween costume. Then he's the one telling the Liberian people that there is a genuine cause for protest. Now, the reason why someone who cannot easily be fooled. People can't just easily fool all of that. Because when you come in with your bullshit, right? I'll literally just be watching you. You know, I'll watch you. I'll say, but look, why can't I think I'm man on that? You know? But they fail to realize that Liberians have grown. Liberians understand now. Liberians understand all these all these shenanigans that you guys be on. It's never intended for the well-being of the people, but rather trying to gain certain level of political leverage or political opportunity. That is all to it. Though protest is never intended to take care of your broken schools. It's never intended to take care of your dilapidated classrooms. It's never intended to enhance your safety and well-being. Never about these things. Bunch of hustlers using citizens in advancing for their next political opportunities. It's not about that. And if you can see the truth in that, then you yourself, you're part of the problem. It's never about you. These guys campaign on Madame Salif, protested on Madame Salif for all the period of 12 years. Only for the Liberian people to come and vote them in. And you guys even became even worse than Madame Salif in her cronies. That means we'll go bleed people like that. That means we'll go bleed people like that. We got to be serious as people. We got to be. We ought to be serious as people. Do not allow politicians, do not allow political opportunists. That's what the guys are. The Moba Molu of the world. Moba Molu gained his notoriety through what? Through protests. Moba Molu gained his fame in a Liberian political arena through protests. But what Moba Molu did not tell us, that Moba Molu protest was for self-aggrandizement. That Moba Molu protest was to position himself for lucrative political opportunity. That has been his whole aim. Because nobody will look at this current government. Nobody will look, I got my reservation on President Joseph Numa Baka administration. And I'll make that consistently clear on this platform. But you cannot convince me that the level of development that we are seeing, the level of intentionality, the level of deliberate approach to making Liberian lives better under the administration, that you will come to convince a man like me that the protests, the so-called enough is enough protests orchestrated by political opportunists, Moba Molu, and his lies, Gray were there too, that it meet the level of urgency that they apply to it. No. There are challenges in Liberia. Likewise, there are challenges in America where I'm at today. There are challenges here. If you live in America today, you will know that there are challenges in America right here, right now. Fuel prices are up, right? Inflation is at the highest right now. Prices are up. Wages are really, so if there's no, then let me not turn into an economist, because obviously, I did a little bit of economy, but just the basic. So if you look at what is happening on a global market, vis-a-vis Liberia, and you are somebody who's not carried away by these nonsense that these political hustlers be selling to Liberian people, but you're somebody with a common sense and a sense of reasoning, you can look at what is happening on a global market, especially big-time country like America, and look at your country, Liberia, and be like, what kind of change I stand? For a country that is not industrialized, for the country that don't have a progressive public sector, where literally everything is contributed through government. The government is the highest employer in a country. When you see that happening in any country, you know you have a problem. So for these guys that strangulated the system, for these guys that literally bankrupted the system, for these guys that brought absolute self-destructing strategy of looting the country, for them to come again masquerading like some angel, masquerading like the new savior with their nonsense campaign called Enough is Enough. It is absurd. It's lazy. It is intellectually absurd and politically incoherent. Yeah, intellectually absurd. It is so intellectually absurd that anybody that have a little ability of reasoning can look at it and be like, we know the old man have some challenges, but those challenges cannot in any way in any way merit this level of protest that you guys are bringing onto the state. You know, I always tell people this. Sometimes you need to be able to remake your devil. If you're giving a singing outfit to devil, the children don't know now the devils, but give the devil different look. If you're gonna be that, if that's your part of life, where you don't want anybody else to enjoy the resources of a country that we all inherited, but only few people should have monopoly over its resources, then we have a problem. And that's how some of these guys look at government. That's how some of these guys look at the country resources. They just feel those that Labrampo blessed to have power today, it's like that they don't want to use the resources, you know, to their benefit at that moment while in power. But that's not how it's supposed to be. The resources of a nation belongs to all of its citizens. We might not be able to use it at the same manner, but under no circumstances that people should be deprived of enjoying the resources that is somehow belongs to everybody. Just because the Liberian people look a handful of you guys and say, okay, y'all go and represent us, or you people present yourself well, so trust and confidence were placed in you guys. Our expectation as citizens is that we have done our part and we expect you guys now to go and do yours. But no, you get power to these people. Look at how Joey are operated in the resources, in the fund of the Liberian people. And let me not even start with President John Manawia. Let's go with Ellen Johnson. These people, they have absolutely no remorse whatsoever. How they looted and abused financially the system that entrusted them. What more can you do for Liberian men or Liberian women? That not everybody's going to be taking exorbitant salary. Look at America. We all hustling here, right? Well, nobody rich here. We're all hustling. But we can afford water to eat, food to eat. We can afford car to drive. We put my own gas, like my local senator. Yeah. We do all of these things. It's nothing different. But what we expect from government is to take care of the basic social services needs of our people. Give the people decent wage or wages. Give the people good schools. Give the people good schools, their children. Not everybody's going to making $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. No. All right. Let's appreciate higher education. Let's appreciate people that have excelled and pay them what they're worth. But if you pay your police officer $150, then you're worrying about being safe. I think that is absolutely a direct contradiction. Because it can be giving your police officer then, you know, the kind of money you paying them, then you don't expect corruption, right? And I'm not trying to, justify corruption in any, you know what I mean, in any way, shape, or form. But I'll be damned if I not see when you're paying people that amount of money. I'm not saying you should expect it that people be corrupt, but you then should not be surprised when they are corrupt. All right? Two statements all can make sense at the same time. I'm not saying the people that working for you should be corrupt, like the police officer and people that are doing these, little serviceable work and stuff like that. Even the police officers, they are not doing little job. Their lives are on the line. People are putting their lives on the line, going to area where you and I will not easily go. Right? And the least we can do for them is to give them a pay that at least they are able to take care of themselves and take care of their families. But no, you're getting a senator getting paid exorbitantly. You're getting lawmakers getting paid exorbitantly. But yet, the people that are responsible for their protection, the people that are responsible for the protection of they and their children, the people that are responsible for the protection of the civil society, the people are grossly underpaid. Sometimes you're driving, you see police officer, you feel bad for them, right? I mean, we need to look in the mirror and we need to do things, we need to do things differently. And patriotism is for you to look and say, you know what, the amount of money I'm getting paid, I don't think, given the condition, given the current situation of my country, I don't think this is fair. Yeah. But no, man. People just want to gain how much they can gain, man. That don't make it get a lot of former politicians and former senator and lawmaker then. When they tell you, say that man in a horse for 12 years, you're not believe it. When they show you somebody say that man in a horse for 20 years, you're not believe it. Because a wealth that is ill-gotten, guess what? Evaporates. You're not laughing. Because it was ill-gotten. You did not get it the right way. So it's not going to last. It's not going to benefit you. It's going to go like when you untie a balloon, the way the air kind of evaporate out of it. That's how it is. But yeah, look, we have to do better as a country, as a society, as people. Let us not be fooled again. But I always say this: Liberians are getting wiser by the day. We can tell from the so-called enough is enough campaign. Liberians like, but why are you getting the street? People that understands. People that know, right? When there's a need to protest, nobody need to tell you, say you need to protest. Nobody need to go on air and start making threatening remarks, literally trying to build their own conspiracy theorists. That how somebody trying to attack him in his car, he had to maneuver and do all of that stuff. Bro, stop building your own story and try to create the public sentiment for you. Government is not going after you. Government can care less. Because once you're doing the right thing, don't be afraid. Once you're doing it right, this is what I always tell people, even in real life, right? Do good. Hmm? You know, people always say, do good with your right hand, your left hand should not know, or not do it good with left hand, your right hand should not know. That's how you operate. And be a man with integrity and conscience. And do not let your guys down, man. When you do that, I swear to God, tell me today, say Toretto told me they think on a nightly exchange. When you go in anything with and not in any way trying to compromise your integrity and your and your morality, you'll be fine, bro. You'll be fine, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'll go back to the story itself, to the biggest of all. Grisby, Minister of State and Presidential Affairs, elect Grisby. You know, when Joe Biden administration started, President Joseph Norman Biden, some of the very first people that a lot of people anticipated that those would be the first casualty in the Black Eyes administration. If anybody would have told me that Grisby would have survived up to this time, let alone be there until his death, I would have sworn, I said, oh, hell no, that is not true. I would have definitely been on the side of people that said he was going to be part of the first batch of people that were going to exit the Black Eyes administration. But again, what we didn't know, at least for some of us, that these two individuals, the president and Grisby, that they were really buddies. That they were really buddies, like good friends. And one thing I know about friendship, depending on the dynamics of the friendship, it's hard, man. Like I said, keyword, depending on the dynamics of the friendship. Because they are friends and they are friends. When they talk about friend turning to a brother, even though you're in the person not from the same man, same part. But some friendship do translate, how do you call the word? Some friendship do transcend to be something bigger than a mere friend. And can we easily say that whatever friendship that existed between the late Minister of State and Presidential Affairs, Grisby, and that of President Joseph Norman Biden was a friendship that transcended. Because when it came out that obviously, Grisby had other, allegedly, because I must add, you cannot go full blown head up. You know what I mean? When you're talking about Labyrinth, man, telling you something. But it tells you that with all of that, with the public cry, with people saying, oh, he gotta go. The man put him cookie job. The man put him social security money to procure those cards. Meanwhile, those are cars used doing the inauguration. people got to know lately. At least I got to know yesterday. I know people have been saying that they were good friends, but I did not know how close of a friends they were. But seeing a picture yesterday circulating on social media, you guys were friends back in high school. And when I say some friendship, it's almost like we're going to ride this out until the wheel fall off. I think that's the friendship that I see that existed between the late Grace Bay and that of President Joseph Boakai. That no matter what it is, I and my own man, we're going to ride this thing out. You can criticize me. You can say, oh, he took money from Social Security, call for to get the cars that we needed to accommodate our foreign guests that were coming for the inauguration. Even though it was not done through the right channel, but his mistake, I'm gonna live with it. Provided if that was even a mistake, because like I said, allegedly. Because the president I never heard the president speak of this guy openly. And when the talk came out in the media, I stand to be corrected, but I don't think the president even acknowledged it. And if he did, I don't know to which length he went by discussing that. Because I'm telling you, man, some friendship, they're not pakaki friendship. Some friendship are deeply rooted into faith. Deeply rooted in faith. And I don't care what it is, man. If Joe Parker was going down swinging, he made that clear to the Liberian people that me and the other one were going down swinging together. Now the question will be, at what length are you willing to compromise your administration at this infant stage to accommodate a friend? Well, from all indication, we got to know that JMB were willing to do that because his actions and inactions, his lack of participating in a public demand for resignation or firing of Grace Bay, the late Grace Bay, the president made it abundantly clear for a lack of involvement in our whole saga that this was not going to happen. And we did not hear that story ever again. You know, so it is what it is. May God rest his soul. We want to thank him for a contribution to our country. You know, he served Ellen, he served Baka. And I heard he was there doing top time. I don't know. But whatever he did, made a little contribution to our country. We want to say thank you. And so rest in peace. And his soul before, and all those before and after him, rest in peace. So like I was saying, Sir Joseph, you know, I'm coming back on all my topic. I will get something so that I can close it very, very soon. Sir Joseph's decision to have called out the CDC, President George Manning in particular, it's not a news story. At least it's not a news story to me. God knew the day of reckoning was loading. The day that everybody will be exposed was imminent. And this is just the beginning for more to come. So CDC is definitely it's done. D-O-N-E, done. My uncle then from the parent trap say, Akbe, done, finish. C'est fini. Akara Gray came and said some incendiary, absolute ridiculous take, saying that the departure of all of these guys that are leaving CDC right now will have absolutely no numerical impact on the party. You know, when Akara Gray makes some statements sometimes, somebody can be in my head saying, hey, God, can Stanton subject all his studio guests to a draws text? Something can be telling me, I say, hey, God, I hope Stanton will subject all his studio guests for a drugs test. Because I'm telling you, man, that brother says some things that nobody can be in their rightful mind and buy it. So he's saying, in essence, that the departure of Sir Joseph, the departure of Thomas Fowler, and other auxiliary party affiliates, that it has absolutely no impact in terms of numerical value. And I tell to this guy, man, I say, bro, whatever drugs you own, bro, it's not good for you. Stay away from it. How can a man who nearly won 400,000 votes don't have a base, don't have a constituents, don't have a religious political congruence? How? It's beyond me. But again, that's a character for you. That's a character for you. But CDC is done. CDC no. I mean, people around the party knows. People that understand politics understand. What is happening in CDC is a tragic. It's tragic. What is happening in CDC is tragic. It's a total tragedy. What is happening in CDC? Because a party that wants to be the party of youth turn out to be the party that helped with the annihilation of the youthful population. The party that branded herself to be a party of inclusion. The party that came with the so-called Propo agenda. That party we're talking about here, people. That party continue to what you might call it, to disintegrate right in our eyes. We have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Meanwhile, President George Manning, we have found comfort in becoming the brand new manager for his son, Tim Weah, who recently transferred from Italian club Juventus to Marseille in France. Making tall. Making tall. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me not sound like private key on this show. My people, I'm sorry. For Liberia to get better, for Liberia to continue with the progress initiated, or at least projects that are ongoing right now, or at least the level of professionalism, the level of professional approach that we have happening under this able leadership of Joseph Numa Boakai, President Joseph Numa Boakai. We all need to come together and look at that. You know, progress does not come one time. It does not come once. Progress takes time. Progress takes time. When you open water, when you go to fresh water, when you open the water, when you open a pump and put a bucket around on it, right? Sometimes you see it, right? It's kind of, that's how progress is. It don't happen just one day that I hear woke up, things happen. You need to start putting things in place. Something called blueprint. You need to start building that. When you build that, then you start to work on those blueprints. But as long as we don't build that in Liberia, everybody will just become a jet do their own. And you see the country, since they had an electricity, something set up, it don't matter. Okay? Stay operating. And that's how you build system. That if you have, like if you're not there today, somebody else will not be able to carry on what you have. And that process takes time. If we don't build a system, it will just be like taking band and just put on the wound, but you're not treating it, you're not cleaning it, you're not putting any soap medicine there, but you're taking dry band and putting on it. That's not a sustainable development. So sustainable development, you need to set a blueprint. Build on that. All right? So that's what the president is trying to do. All the sector, if you look at it, that's what he's trying to build. Trying to build it not for today. The president don't have interest in campaign project. They say, oh, the president holding the project until when campaign start coming. No. The woman is too old for that. Too old to be playing politics with lives. You know what I mean? Too old to be thinking about 2029. It's too old for that. So let all of us come and believe in that. And you see, and this is why I challenge Liberia sometimes, right? You don't need to take my words for it. Just look at how things are happening in the country. Don't take my words for it. It might not be happening with the lightning speed that you anticipated. Nothing works with lightning speed. Not even in America yet. If you're going to do something, do it good. If you're going to do something, do it better. But what Liberia we use to do quick project, because all of our projects should be sort of linked to appealing to public sentiment, appealing to, that public, that instant gratification appreciation kind of thing. That's why we build some structure and the foundation are not strong. You know, no, the women don't have interest in that. But look at what is happening right now at the state-run radio and television. LBS. Look at what is happening there. Look at other agencies. Look at what is happening. My own little brother Sheikh Sharif at the Labrador Post and Telecommunication. Look at what is happening there. Look at the foundation that they are building. Look at LEC with Brother Mohammed Sharif. Look at that. Look at LRA. Look at FPRC. I mean, look. There you go. Sometimes you don't need opposition politicians to be telling you these things. You don't need, you know, just sit and watch your country. See the things that are happening. Look, when it comes to criticizing the government, for some of us, like I always say, we are not in this thing to seek for ourselves. We're not going to come here to try to sugarcoat or try to make the government to look good so that down the line we can get some political opportunity. That is not my motivation. I'm not motivated by that. If I'm motivated by that, I would have taken a different political approach, different talking points during a campaign. But I've always maintained my independence. I've always maintained that one thing nobody will ever buy from me is my integrity and my morality. They are not for sale. I'm not selling it. I'm not selling it. The day I loses those two, then obviously there will be no essence of me living. But I just urge all Liberians to look at how your country, look at the progression. Look at the progression. Look at the approach, right? The intentionality, the deliberate approach to these things. Look at these things. They will start making sense to you. They will start making sense to you. Don't be carried away by all these things. Look at what the president is doing with all these barracks. Because the president understands there are certain institutions that you need to help boost the morale of those institutions. Like the military. You can't have a military where you go to the barrack, you got grass, long like in the forest. Huh? You don't need that. The president definitely needs to do something with police. I've said this and I'll say it again. There is no way the police should be looking like that. These guys look dilapidated. Some of them look hungry. They look like they have not eaten for weeks. Right? We have to build value. We have to build value. And you can only build value when the people that are serving these institutions and these entities, when you can see them, people respect them based on their appearance. But you can't send police officer to a community to go arrest somebody. The police get there. The police appearance alone does not command respect. From a PR standpoint, I'm just looking at this from a public relations standpoint. Appearance do matter in law enforcement. When people see you coming, they know you came for business. People respect you based on your appearance. They're forced to respect you. When your gear, everything is in tight, but your shoe, you got different shoelaces, we're not going to respect that. You get a uniform patch, we're not going to respect that. I'm going to respect that because your appearance does not even, it does not even, your appearance does not demand respect. So from a public relations standpoint, Mr. President, so the thing that we're looking at is, so we need to look at these things and take key into it. That'll be some of our criticism of the government. And obviously, the ombudsman came out the last night, came up with a list of individuals that need to go. And among those individuals was party chairperson, Louboutin Tapet, NPRC managing director, Amos Tuet, list of top dogs in his black administration. People that are cut either for not declaring their assets or have not relinquished certain party responsibilities. Like in the case of Louboutin Tapet, party chairman, you got to let it go. You can't be serving on the board at NPRC while at the same time you the chairman for Unity Party. That is conflict of interest. We don't need that. And you should know better. Amos Tuet, Secretary General for Unity Party, Managing Director at NPRC. You can't do that, bro. Let one go. Right? You don't want to be secretary and let go of the NPRC job. Or you want to be at the NPRC and let go of the secretariat. We got to do something. It is not convoluted. It is not. But people that you expect to do better, when these people start to have mediocre, then I think I can get on hand. These are things that really, really piss me off. People that I expect to know better and do better. When people start to do things like people that you don't expect to know better and do better, then that right there, that's the thing that really, really eats me up. This is not complicated. You can't save, you cannot serve in double roles. You cannot have party affiliation while at the same time serving government. You can't do that. Nobody need to explain that to any of these guys. You don't need to call Amos Tuet and say, "Mama, they think not correct." You don't need to call this and say, "Mama, they think not correct." These are people that are well in mind. They understand what they are doing, but yet they don't know how to do it. And it is sad. It is sad. It's sickening. It is disappointing. Because if you know better, we expect you to do better. We don't anticipate you to do better. We expect you to do better. Because we know you do. We know you know better. So people need to look at that, and the president need to really, really pay attention to the ombudsman's, deliberation and recommendation. Excuse me. People need to pay attention to these things. Because when you give someone a piece of job, you have to be able to empower them to do their job. Other than that, the ombudsman position will just be like a bushman. And when you do that, there's a saying, "Manuel say we cannot bring the more, we cannot put the more, that." Meaning, translation, don't give cow head to somebody and cut the tongue out of it. You can't give head to somebody, cow head or chicken head or goat head or sheep head, then cut the tongue of the head. You cut the tongue and you get the head. No. If you're gonna give them the head, they give them the entire head. With the ear, the tongue, the eyeball, everything attached to it. Right? So when you're going to give someone a position to do something, allow them to do their job. And you should also support them while they are there. Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me. Hopefully the rest of the guys will join us tomorrow. Amy could not make it tonight due to, you know, some unforeseen circumstances, and I could not get the rest of the crew on to expound on the discussion. So I just had to go through it by myself. And obviously, I want to clap for myself. 1 hour, 15 minutes on this, going off like that. I hope I did not disappoint you guys. And if I did, I want to apologize, and hopefully I'll do better next time. But before I get off here, I just want to say thank you guys, man. Thank you guys. Thank all of you that came on here, those that shared, those that commented, like, and to our YouTube audience as well. I want to say thank you all. This is Liberia, man. You know, this is the motherland. Liberia is where our hearts are. And we all need to come together and do better to make Liberia better. Because the future of Liberia in a positive state, it's all of our interest. All right, it's all of our interest. So let's continue to preach. Hopefully somebody in the president's office, somebody around the president will be able to come across one of these shows. And I know very well they do pay attention to these things, and they should. Because the government that came for the people should be able to hear the people wherever they are, whether in the country or outside of the country. So I hope that people are paying attention and they are taking some of our messages to the president. And our hope is that they will listen to them and they will act upon them. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it. Good night. So long. See you tomorrow. Bye.